four-time Miss Olympia Jay Cutler. Welcome to my channel, Jay Cutler TV, and make sure to stay in tune with the newest and updated videos. Subscribe below, guys. Thank you so much for following along.
Hey guys, welcome to Be Built by Broser exclusively on Jay Cutler TV. We're here at Gold's Gym, and today what I decided I want to show you guys is since a lot of people have trouble building the upper portion of the chest, I wanted to show you a few exercises a little bit outside the box of just the general incline press and the general incline fly, just some different angles and ways to better engage the upper portion of the chest. Remember, you can't completely isolate any portion of the chest, but we can affect different motor unit pools, more specifically in the upper chest, if we hit it from the right angle. We're going to do these exercises mostly on a Smith machine today, although you can do it with a free bar as well. I just like the Smith machine better because it has better control, so we'll show you those now. So the exercise we're doing now is a very high incline Smith press. Now a lot of people think this is going to work the shoulders, but the key to making this work the chest is by actually getting your chest under the bar by putting a small arch in the lower back, raising up the rib cage, and shrugging the shoulders down and back into the bench. So if you do it this way, you'll better engage the upper pectoral fibers and take some of the shoulders out of the movement. This movement is really, really good if you do it nice and slow and controlled, and it really hits the very upper pec fibers by the clavicles. Okay, so now what we're doing is a Smith bench press to the neck, or a guillotine press. And this exercise really works the upper chest because it forces your elbows back in line with the upper chest, which really helps to stretch out and helps you to contract the upper chest fibers. Now, as you can see as I'm doing it, I'm bringing the bar down to about my chin, so it's really, really high up on my chest. Just make sure that you keep those elbows out wide when you do this. Get a full stretch at the bottom, and try not to go too heavy with this movement because it's very hard on the shoulder joints, but it's excellent for the upper chest. So now we're doing actually a reverse grip bench press on the Smith machine. Now a lot of people think this works the triceps, and of course the triceps are engaged, but studies have shown that the reverse grip bench press works the upper pec fibers even more powerfully than an incline press. So this is an excellent exercise to throw into your routine if the regular incline press is not getting the job done. So use a reverse grip on the bar, about a shoulder width grip, and bring the bar down to about mid-chest level. When you push up to the top, think about contracting the upper chest hard, and you'll get a really great pump in the upper chest. Okay, so now we're doing a low cable crossover or a standing cable incline fly. And the key to this movement to really hit the upper chest is to make sure that you keep the chest high, the rib cage out, slight arch in the lower back, keep those shoulders back. And as you can see, the plane of motion is coming from below my chest at the beginning, but at the top, I'm coming up to about nose level. And this is how you really contract the upper chest fibers, keeping the shoulders out of the movement as best as you can. Just make sure you get a good squeeze at the top, and at the bottom, you start from a full stretch, and you'll really hit those upper pecs hard.
All right, Merlin, what do you got today?
Got a question from Mr. Pete Golden, and he wanted to know how much cardio and what type of cardio, and should it be steady state or HIIT? Do you suggest for keeping body fat reasonable in between contests and just for overall health? So, good question. I always recommend that people do cardio in the off season. A lot of competitors just try to cut cardio out completely in the off season. But of course I don't like calling it off season, so I won't call it off season anymore. It's a progress season. And I believe that every competitor should keep their body fat reasonable during this period of time. So cardio should be a part of it. Of course you don't need to do as much cardio as you do preparing for a show, nor does it need to be intense, but I would say that what is reasonable for most people, and this is kind of a generalization because it depends on how much you're eating, what your activity level is, and so on and so forth, and when your next show is. Do you have a year between shows? Do you have 4 months between shows? But I think 4 to 5 days a week is reasonable for most. I don't really know that you need to do fasted cardio at that time. I would say that if you did post-workout cardio, it would be really good to do. I think whether you do HIIT or steady state is really up to you. I think maybe a combination of the two for some people, maybe one day HIIT, one day steady state. Personally myself, I like doing steady state better. I feel HIIT cardio for me is too intense, and I like to keep that intensity just during my workouts. So I think for overall health and just keeping your body fat reasonable, doing your cardio after you train, once you've gotten rid of most of your glycogen stores and your body's going to be working off of mostly body fat, would be good. And maybe between 20 and 30 minutes, at a moderate pace, say like 3.5 on the treadmill or something like that. Maybe a heart rate of about 65% of max would be good. I think that's reasonable for most people. Will help you to keep your body fat under control, which I think is, again, very, very important, especially for competitors, and definitely for overall health. I mean, as somebody who just had a heart attack recently, it's even more important to me to keep my aerobic and cardiovascular health in check, and I think that's important for everybody else. So, like I said, 45 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes post-workout, and you should be good to go.
All right, Biggie. So I got one for you. I get to ask a question today.
I love when you have a question to
and
ask.
You have no idea what I'm going to ask either.
No idea.
So, last weekend I actually went to go see Matt Porter, and I remember him. We did a couple of videos, and I remember him writing a very nice article about rebounding after a show the right way and make sure that you don't actually get out of shape. I thought it was a very interesting article. I don't remember where it's at no more, but I was going to ask you, what do you think is the best way to, after a competition or a few competitions, technically getting into the off season or the progress season as we call it, what would you say is the best way to ease back into the non-contest season without putting on too much body fat and some people call this reverse dieting. I don't know what you call it. I don't think we ever talked about it. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I pretty much always just go back to the diet, but I'm kind of going back to the diet that you gave me before, and unless you change it, I don't really know what to do. So what would you say for someone who's watching this and say, I just finished, competing, and they want to make some progress, yet they don't want to get fat either. So what would you say, how would you kind of like ease back into this, and what changes would you make?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And Matt, I just want to welcome you to the Jay Cutler TV.
Yeah. Your name was brought up, Eric.
My name was now I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt's, like I said, I think I put it on one of the posts. He's one of our industry's best coaches, nicest guys, and himself an absolutely incredible bodybuilder. So good to have him with us. And Matt and I have spoke many times before, and we've realized we have a lot in common in the way we approach dieting for shows and just in general for gaining muscle. But yeah, I think that it's very important for people to understand that after a show is one of your greatest opportunities to make gains right after a show. When you're getting ready for a show and your body is literally exhausted from increased training, lower calories, more cardio, posing, stress. There's just so much that goes into it that your body's really in a very deprived state. Cortisol levels are going to be, quite high. Your adrenal glands are going to be pretty shot. So it's a very, very difficult time for your body. So once you get done with the show, you can actually rebound off of a show and make a lot of gains in the first couple of months. It's like your system is primed to take in calories and what I call partition them towards muscle tissue and away from fat tissue. So people who take extended rests after a show, it's not always the best idea. I understand the thought process behind it because you're exhausted, you want to take a rest, you need some time away. But if you can get back in the gym quickly and get yourself back onto a quality diet, you can make some great gains. So how do we do that? So what we would want to do is, obviously, we don't want to, the first mistake that a person would make is to just have 14 cheat meals right after the show.
Cheat every day for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Completely get out of shape. I've done that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can, obviously, you're done with the show, go out that night, have a cheat meal. The next day, wake up in the morning, have a good breakfast. Maybe for the next week or so, limit yourself to, one cheat meal a day, but the other meals should be clean. If you don't do that and you start cheating like crazy, now your body is going to start to very, very quickly start to convert everything to body fat, and you're not going to be rebounding properly. You're going to just end up putting on a whole bunch of water. You're going to be very, very uncomfortable. You're going to feel like crap. and you're going to hate yourself when you look in the mirror, because you're going to go from being ripped to being what looks like fat almost overnight. So that's the first thing you don't want to do. So you want to go back into quality calories, and what you want to do is you want to just ease your body back by adding in, maybe, let's say, reasonably 25 grams to 50 grams of carbohydrates per day.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not a lot, because you just want to do it gradually. But over a week, if you add in 50 grams a day, over a week you're talking about 350 grams. So it does
every
tend
day
to be a lot.
Okay.
But you don't, this depends on your size and your body weight and how many calories you're on before. You can add in a little bit extra protein and extra fat, but try to make it all from quality foods. Try to make the majority of the extra carbohydrates at your breakfast meal and at your post-workout meal, when your body is primed to push these calories towards muscle tissue and away from fat tissue. And just, slowly but surely, get yourself back up to maintenance calories and then above maintenance calories over the course of maybe 2 to 3 weeks. And then once you've hit that groove where you're feeling really good, you're feeling strong and your body's filled out, stay at that calorie level for, another good, 6 to 8 weeks. And you should rebound really, really well off the show. Now, this is I'm just generalizing it. Obviously, when I do it with clients, it has to be specific to the client. But the main points that I'm trying to make is that, number one, allow your time, get that rebound after a show. Don't just take a rest. Number two, don't just start on a whole bunch of cheat meals and get off your entire program. You should still be getting, your high protein meals, your essential fatty acids, your carbohydrates. Try to make your largest calorie meals first thing in the morning and post workout, and try to take in quality foods. And you should be able to, and then if you build it up gradually if you do it too fast and you just stick in all these calories in the first day or two, you're not going to be comfortable, your body's not going to assimilate it well, so you need to do it gradually, because remember, your body is in a very, very delicate state after a show. Everything in your body is taxed, not just your muscular system, your cardiovascular system, your adrenal system, your central nervous system, your digestive system, everything is stressed. So allow it to come back slowly. But if you do this correctly after a show, I've seen people add 10 to 15 pounds of quality weight in the first couple of months after a show. So
nice.
Do it gradually, and you'll make some great gains.
Thanks, Biggie.